What we're going to do today to so it's somewhere we've not been before. It's something we've not actually done. So this will be our first time. We have walked past it, but we've never actually had a walk round it. So that's what we're going to do today. It's literally too cold. The ground is wet. It's saturated. Toby will get messed up, I'll get messed up, so I thought, let's see where we go. Because Toby's a little bit nervous about the sea, isn't he? So I've got to think about him as well on this. Right, I'm out. One of our buses. There's one of our buses. And there's Tobes. Well, when I go into Coast Watch on Monday, I'll be on the bus today. Oh, sorry, on Monday. I'm supposed to be going to visit a colleague. Come on, Toby. Go this way. Alright, he's not going to have it. So, it's alright. We'll make our way to Queen Street. We'll walk up Queen Street. And we'll go up to the caravan park. We're not going to force him, are we? Hi Dave, how are you? It is. Oh, good. I'm glad the sound's better. Well, I can't even get my car looked at until a week on Thursday. So on Monday, I'll be going into Withernsea Coast Watch on the bus. I don't think I've ever, oh I have, I've been on one of our buses once. Worse than that, I'll have to pay my bus fare. I won't have to pay it coming back, but I'll have to pay it going. Killer, isn't it? But never mind. We've got Toby here with us. He just didn't want to walk on the prom. Yet he was alright coming up. You don't know what goes through the minds. Come on, Tobes. I think he's done something for me to clean up. So I'm just going to put my phone down for a moment. While I do what needs to be done. Hang on, Toby. Right guys, sorry about that. Needs must and all the rest of it though. Right. So I don't know, Dave. I was going to go up to Hornsey to see a colleague. You know, I mentioned that yesterday. I got into the car, pressed the stop-start button, and then the engine started, but it didn't sound right. Like as if it were firing on 3 cylinders or something like that. And then the engine light came on, and a message saying engine management, engine system needs attention. So I've looked it up, and it could be one of a number of things. So I rang up the dealer who, you know, for Sangyong. I always take my car there, and he tells me it's going to be mid-March before he can get me in. Mid-March. He said our technician's off sick at the moment. He's the one who would deal with it. So it's going to be mid-March before we can get the car in. I said, Christ, I said, well, could you recommend me anywhere else I could take it? He says no. He said, I can't. I said, no, I shouldn't have asked. You know, like, so it's not that, it isn't that. It's about, it's not like a well-known make, Sangyong. He said sometimes we can do more damage than anything else. Is that other, you know, companies? I thought, right, other, you know, like repair places. I thought, yeah, I get that. So anyway, my next repair place is in Hull, not far from Hessel. I've been past it loads of times, so I know where it is. I gave them a call because really, to be honest, I'd rather another Sangyong dealer deals with it. It might be something or nothing, it might be something more serious, but even so, if they do the work, you know, there's warranty there, isn't there? That's that gone. So, according to what I read on Google, it could be the EGR or something to do with something called a DPF, which is some sort of filter. Hi Callum. Hi Edward. So there's a few things it could be, but I'm not what you call technically minded, so I don't really know. But from what I can gather, it says if, come on you, it's, the thing said, you know, the internet, if, for my car, a Sangyong Tivoli XLV, if the engine light is flashing, do not drive it. If it's solid, drive with caution. So I'm thinking the best thing to do is, say next Wednesday, to ring up the car recovery place, tell them I'm just trying to go out of my car and I've got this warning light coming on, so I've switched the engine off because I've got home start. So So I should be okay with that. Then the guy will come out, he'll be able to do something with it, which is fine. If not, he'll be able to tell me whether I can drive it or not to Hessel. Either that, he'll have to drag me there. So that's what I'm going to do anyway. Yeah, I've got car trouble, Edward. The thing were alright yesterday when I took Mandy. I brought Mandy back from getting her car sorted, you know, one of my neighbours. I was supposed to be taking her today for her to get her car back. Anyway, apparently I can't do anything at the moment. So even though it says I can drive it, it might be in limp mode. But even so, I'm just thinking to myself, if the guy from the recovery guy says it's alright, and it isn't, then they'll be responsible for giving me bad advice. But they're not going to give me bad advice anyhow. They're just going to say, look, either yay or nay. If on the other hand he says, well, no, you can't, if you're going to have to do something, you're going to have to drag it in. Now it's 135 quid, the diagnostic check, so we just put the computer on it, bump, 135 quid. So it is what it is, I'm afraid. So I've no car now till next Thursday. The upshot is, this could have happened when it was stuck in Withernsea or somewhere else, even worse. Going to visit my son and his family on the M62. It could have happened somewhere like that. That would have been absolutely horrendous. So that's the upshot. One of the downshots is I'm going to have to go into Withernsea on Monday on the bus. So I guess it is what it is. The car has its own account, and I've always got £500 or £600 in there, like for maintenance and things like that. So it's not that I'm going to be, really worried about money or anything. So that's another good thing. We are a pain, we really are, Edward. Well, yeah, it will be fun, but I might get the old Duchess to come with me. Oh no, it's too cold for her. If it's like this, I'll just have to kind of get my shopping bags and grin and bear it. The good thing is, Aldi isn't far away. So, even Tesco, I might do the shopping over 2 days. Go to Tesco on one day and then Aldi the next or something like that. We'll see. Yeah, you like the lighthouse? Yep, there it is. We had a good look at it the other day. Going back to the car though, Careful. Sorry about that one. Toby wanted to go and have a sniff at that little girl. She might have been eating something or something, I don't know. Yeah, you won, didn't you? Lincoln won. No, but going back to the car, well, I guess it is what it is. But the old Duchess was saying to me, so, well, look, Darryl, it's 10-year-old now, that car. We got it in 2016. So why don't we just simply go for a new one? Get another new car. So, something to think about. The thing is, with £35 a year tax, go on, Tobes, we'll cross over. Yeah, with £35 a year tax, it's cheap to run, cheap to insure. I'm pretty loath to go out and spend a load of money. Can afford it, but I don't know, we'll see. Well, we're going to walk up through the town centre today. We'll make our way to Holland Road, and then we'll walk up that until we come to Golden Sands. When we get to Golden Sands, we'll have a walk around it. And then we'll see where we go from there. God. Two little dogs. Who'd have them? Who'd have dogs? What's that for, Edward? Is that for your road tax? Well, mine's 35. My car insurance, fully comp, is I think it's 190. It's not a lot, I know that. So I'm a little bit wary of trading it in. If I get another one, again, there's the other thing. We have to have a decent sized boot. Hello. Try and get over. Can we do it? We've done it. So I've got to have a boot big enough to get the old Duchess's mobility scooter in and all the other stuff we need. So I'm looking at possibly not. So I'm looking at something reasonably big. Hello. Hi, mate. Come on. So I'm looking at something quite big, really, like I've got now. And the only thing I've really come across that can do the business is a KGM, like a Sangyong, Taurus. Now I can't afford a new one for about 30,000, but I'm happy to go up to about 22, 23. I don't know how much I'll get for mine. The book value is about 4,000 now. So we'll see anyhow. Part of me is saying, well, yeah, let it go after 10 years. It's been a good car, I've enjoyed having it. And part of me is saying, well, no. If we can keep it for another 2 or 3 years, that would be the thing to do. So I don't know, we'll see anyhow. A Clio, and you're paying £275 road tax on a Clio. Christ. Well, the one I'm looking at, if I change this car, you know, my XLV, if I change that to the Taurus, it'll be £195, and the Taurus is a bit bigger, but it's got a slightly smaller engine. Now, in the XLV I'm getting round about 50-55 to the gallon. Now this Taurus I'm looking at 30 to 32. So I don't really want to trade it in, to be honest. I know when I'm onto a good thing. There's little fella. Anyway, I can't do much until the week on Thursday, so we'll see where we go with it then. Toby wants to go to the old folks' home. You're not ready yet. We came up here yesterday, you might remember. But today what we're going to do, we'll retrace some of yesterday. All right, mate. We'll retrace a bit of yesterday and then we'll make us way up to the caravan park, and then we'll have a walk around. We'll look at some of the chalets and things like that. Edward, it is absolutely freezing. It is so bitter cold here. Absolutely bitter. I daren't go on the sea because somebody I'll get very, very apprehensive and nervous. So it'll be okay anyhow. We're gonna do other things, aren't we? And what we will do, we'll go up Holland Road. Now that's good because we'll make our way to the Golden Sands. So it's a little bit different to the other campsites we've been on. It's similar, but it is a bit different because we have a lot of chalets. Yeah, going back to cars, if I could get one at the right price, I wouldn't even mind one of those PHEV. You know, what I've got, that's that Torres, which is PHEV. And yeah, we'll I have seen one that I'm interested in, but we'll see. It will be a last resort. If you'd have to offer me a really decent deal. Hello. So here we've got Tesco's again, you may remember. We saw this yesterday. See, he's no problem and he's happy enough. You know, there's no problem, has he? But I think for the next few days, I were going to perhaps go out tomorrow and take him with me and go for a walk somewhere else, but the car's car-boshed that now. I had thought of going to Roos or somewhere like that, one of the local villages, Patrington, but I'm basically stuffed. Until a week tomorrow. Well, well, we've done 3.1 mile today so far. Well, my target's 6, and tomorrow I'll be back to my normal. Just bloody awful it is. Well, there you go. Life's a bitch, and then you die. Hi, Sammy. Oh, we're good today, Sammy, we're good. But me car's poorly. Edward, why don't you get one of them walking things? Those treadmill things. At least that way you can exercise in the house, can't you? It might help you. Get a treadmill. Go on Amazon and get one. I think that'd probably sort you out. At least you get some exercise. You might not get as much as you want, but at least you'd get some. Yeah, have a look on Amazon or somewhere. I don't know how much them things cost, but I bet they're not that expensive. I know a few weeks ago, might be a couple of months now, I don't know, they were selling them in Aldi. And I think they're about £20–25, something like that. See, we're on Humpton Road. You know where we are now. We came on here yesterday. We've been down here loads of times. So what we're going to do now is make our way to the campsite. It's only about 5 or 6 minutes walk from here. Hi Chris, how are you? Go on, Tobes. What he wants to sniff, he said. Come on. Yeah, have a look on it. What do you call it? Amazon or eBay or something. I'm sure you'll get something at a reasonable price. And you'll be getting the exercise you need, Edward. I wouldn't advise anybody to come out in this as it is at the moment. My fingertips are absolutely numb. Things I do for my subscribers. There we go. One of them Range Rovers would be fine for me as well. but no, it's an expensive one. But a Range Rover, I won't be able to afford anything other than, you know, like a 5, maybe a 6 or a 7-year-old model. That just wouldn't, you know, I'd have the same problem. I may as well stick with what I've got. Yeah, if I'm going to get a second-hand car, because I can't get a new one, I want one as new as I can possibly get, so we'll see anyhow. Well folk, we know where we are. And where we're going is just on the side of the road. We're going to have a walk round. Come on, Tobes. Things we have to do with Toby. The tide's in, so I'm certainly not going to go to Holland Beach. Chalets that they have, and they're normally 2 bedrooms, I believe. There are quite some size to them. Cost between, say, 15 and 20,000 pounds, but then you have to pay site fees on top. And the site fees are about £4,000 a year now. And you can have them to 10 months of the year. They're locked up from the site's locked up from the 1st of December until the 31st of January. I'm just looking for some for sale. No, 3.65 miles. We'll try Toby going back on the promenade. I don't know how far we'll stay on it, but we'll try him anyway. Or maybe not. Might be an idea just to keep him off him for a few days, rather than, you know, give him worries when he doesn't need worries. Now where them houses are, that over there, that takes you out where that new development is. It's a road tunnel. My little lads had one of them when they were kids. They're unsociable, aren't they, dogs? Yeah, a cozy group. They loved it and all. Very welcome. I'm gonna let her get far enough ahead of me. Otherwise her dog will be looking back for Toby. We're going this way. Yeah. That's right, Dr. Knoxlap. I don't think we've been on here before. I have. But I don't think I've had you guys on here. I just thought, with Toby getting upset yesterday on the, I want to give him a few days where he can kind of forget about it, but see, hopefully he'll calm down a bit and he'll be fine. Oh yeah. Daft up. Yeah, I lost connection there for a moment. It looks like we got it back. Yep. I've been looking round at these to see if there's any for sale with a price in the window, but there doesn't seem to be. So there your shallots anyway. And here we've got some caravans on this part of it. Well, we have a clubhouse which is called the Duck and Rabbit. Certainly wouldn't want to come here for a day, for a week in this weather. Now we've got nothing in the window, see. I was hoping he might have done, to give you an idea on prices. But I know they're about 15,000 each for chalets. know the ground rental one's about 4,000 a year. No. I think it's the sea. It's against the rocks. It was alright until we had the tragedy. And since then, if a tide's coming in, he doesn't want to know. So I think it's one or two things. We don't know what he thinks in his mind. He could have an idea about what happened. He thinks it's dangerous, or it could be. We have got splashed a couple of times. It could be that. But for whatever reason, he's decided no. And in trying to force him, it just upsets him. So I don't want to do that. Poor Toby doesn't deserve that, does he? So for a few days, I'll just take him off. We'll keep well away from the sea. We'll keep away from the seafront. And we'll let him decide. Won't we, Toby? And then we'll try and reintroduce him to it later on. So these are your caravans. I don't know how much they go for, and I don't know how much the ground rent is, but if Long Meadows is anything to go by, I'd say 5. Hi Trevor. Hi Jack. How are you? And Toby's here. No, I certainly couldn't have him worried though, really. Poor little man. Would you like a treat, Toby? Would you like a treat? He's going to have a treat because he's a good boy. And all good boys deserve a treat. And Toby's always a good boy. So I'm getting your treat, Toby. Put him back in my pocket. There we go. I think he's happy with that. So I'm carless now. I've no automobile now until the earliest next Thursday, a week tomorrow. Now I was supposed to be going into Coast Watch Thursday afternoon, so I don't think I'll be able to do that now. No, I can't. We're going to do an extra shift and I can't do it. That's the problem in a way of living where we live. We are out of the sticks. Where I lived before, in Elland, there'd be no problem. So we'll have a walk round. So this is our camp. This is the camp, the other major campsite in Withernsea. I think possibly in the war this may have been some sort of military site. I've often said the whole of Holderness were one big military garrison. Come on, Tobes. And you look at the layout, it does look a bit barracky, doesn't it? That's right. Yeah, and I always say to him, Toby, I always say, Toby's a good boy, so he deserves a favour. I say, every good boy, Toby, every good boy deserves a favour. And Toby's always a good boy, so he always deserves favours. Yes, all your campsites are full, are they then, Jack? So I won't mind a discovery, but when something goes wrong with a Land Rover, it's big money, so I can't afford one. I could get one, but then when something goes wrong with it, I'm struggling. So we'll see what happens on a week tomorrow anyhow. You know, as I said, I'm going to have to, I'll get it in then and they'll tell me what the problem is and whether it can be done or not. What needs to be done. But of course, once I get it there somehow, I have to get back. So that's the taxi. And then I'm going to have to pick it up at some point, which is another taxi. These things don't come cheap. There's a few kiddie things over there, look. You know, for kiddies to play on, not much. But I think it's mainly old people that have these chalets that have come to Withernsea with the kids. The kids are grown up, so now they take the grandkids. Yeah, they'll have come probably with their parents and their grandparents. You know, things like that don't really change, do they? I think, like at Edden Bridge and Eptonstall, my memories are going with my nana. And that's like back in the early 1960s. Oh. And then I've taken my grandkids to Ebden Bridge. My kids and my grandkids. Probably they'll take their grandkids, I don't know. And that all stems back from my nana back in the 1960s when they bought a cottage in Eptonstall. All right. Yeah, go and have your tea, Edward. Yeah, I'll think of what... Alright, Dave. Have a good evening, whatever you do. Edward, enjoy your tea. Think about getting one of those treadmill things as well. Yep. Well, Toby's always a good boy. I can never, ever fault him, really. Well, we've done 4.5 miles, or I have, since leaving my house. You've seen these across here loads of times. You know, these chalets. So that is the park where most of them are. When we first come here, there were quite a lot on this side too. The coast is eroding really quick. But we've stopped the erosion, but in stopping it, this part of the side is now a lot smaller. My Toby. That's it, stay close. I know I'm about 1.2 miles from home. Along the beach, we're about 1.5 miles along the prom. I'm not going on the prom. I'm not going to upset Toby. I didn't think the wind would be as much as what it is. When we decided I'm not going to go on the beach, I didn't think the wind would be too bad. Yeah, because I'm quite a way inland. I would have brought a microphone out. I've now got a load of elastic bands to make sure that lavalier thing, which plugs into the bottom, doesn't get lost. And I've actually charged it, so I should have been alright. Well, here's me, I had all sorts of plans. But you know what they say about the plans of mice and men? Could read the Steinbeck novel. He knows there's another dog there. Alright, mate. Weather's awful, isn't it? It's freezing, isn't it? I know. See, he's no trouble, he's happy, he's not stressed, he's not worried. and we're all right. Now, if I took him on the promenade, he would be worried again, so we'll just do other things for a few days. Go for another walk around the cemetery perhaps tomorrow. Make us way up the cinder track around Long Meadows campsite and back down Hull Road. I think given 3 or 4 days, hopefully it should be okay. I think what it is, it's the sound of the waves hitting, you know, in bad weather, hitting the rocks. Hello Irina, how are you? Nice to have you on board. A nice day? No, it's absolutely bitter cold. I found out my car is poorly. I switched it on and a management warning light came on with a message saying engine management needs attention. I can't get it into the dealership until a week tomorrow. He's a good boy, but at the moment he's frightened of walking on the promenade.
Yeah, with noise.
The noises.
Yeah.
I just can't
I
get.
don't like it either. I'm a bit bigger than your dog.
Well, yeah. Poor little man. He's a good boy, though. Bye. Yeah. So what we'll do, we'll do what we did yesterday. We'll go on that council estate again. We'll see if things have changed. You never know, we might see a mattress in the front garden. Something like that. Or a broken 3-piece suite or something. I don't think we will, but we can have a look. But we did see some toilets, didn't we? So we're done just short of 5 miles. So I'll make this up to about 6.5, something like that. Come on, Tobes. Hiya, you alright, love? Yeah, he's still happy enough, is Toby. No stress. No hang-ups. No worries. You know, I'd rather that, to be honest. Doing other things than having worried and distressed. We don't want that for him. Alright, love. This bloke is really good. He did the old Duchess a good deal. She has two scooters, one which is built like a tank, but the second one, it's portable. And it is really good. It weren't cheap, it was about £1,500. But it fits into the back of the car. So that gives it added mobility that otherwise you wouldn't have. So we'll go back down here again. We'll go to Mini Beirut and we'll see where we go from there. See, we're at Tesco. Oh, Jack. Jack. I wish it was here. It is absolutely. I won't be as bitter as it is where Irina is in Siberia, but it's still pretty. It is still pretty bad. It's certainly not bikini weather or swimsuit weather. God. Mind you, it's not so bad down here at the moment. Then again, where we are, it's like with a windbreak. Well, we'll walk down here. See, this used to be part of that council estate too. You know, a lot of people have now bought their own. That's what I was saying, you know, yesterday. This was public housing. And then in 1980 they passed legislation for the right to buy. But then councils didn't build any more houses. Consequently now, we have quite a huge shortage of housing in the UK. If you're young, it can be quite difficult. On the one hand, they're telling people, go out, get an education, get a degree. You know, you'll have a good life. It'll be this, it'll be that. Have the life your parents could only dream about. When you get your degree, I mean, to get anywhere, you have to go to somewhere like London or Leeds or Manchester. And then, because everybody else is going, the price of property soars through the roof. So you find yourself, you can't even afford to rent. And that's how bad it is. even a cheap property is a multiple of about 5-6 times a graduate's annual income. That's if he can get a job. A lot of them end up flipping burgers. We got this wonderful degree and they end up working McDonald's doing a Mac job or in a call centre on a bit more than minimum wage. So what was the point of all those years studying and 50 odd thousand pounds worth of debt? It's beyond belief, isn't it? Well, there you go. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, Claire. I really don't. If you've got everything you're going to need within a 15-minute walk, I'm not really against it. I know there's a lot of people jumping up and down and saying that it's a bad thing, but I don't know. When I was working, I was travelling 60 mile a day to work, 30 mile there, 30 mile home. Now, that's how it is. I'd have to leave home at 6:15. I'd get into work for 7 o'clock. So I've an hour just sitting around. Coming home at night, if I were lucky, I could get home in about an hour. So 5 o'clock, I'm coming home. With a bit of luck, I'm home for 6. But usually, it's taking me over an hour, nearly 2 hours to get home. It would take me an hour, more or less, to clear Manchester and then get onto the M62, which itself was, oh God, one of the world's biggest parking lots between Manchester and Leeds. So I mean, if you could have your job, your kids' school, your shops, everything you need within 15 minutes of where you live, that can't be bad. Before I became a teacher, I worked for HSBC in Leeds. And I got it about 17 miles from my house. 17 miles. And it would take me well over an hour to get there. Now, if you think that was bad for me, okay. One of my colleagues came in every day from Hayward, near Manchester. And it would take her an hour and a half to get there. So, I mean, if you can do everything within 15 minutes walk of where you live, how's that bad? There you go, the toilet. Hi Brian, how are you? There's a toilet, look, with flowers growing out of it. Wow, what do you think of that? Well, there you go, the mattresses. Well, who knows what else we're going to see. Ubiquitous shopping trolley. Yeah. That's nice though, isn't it? Look at that. and that. But there you go. Mattresses, the ubiquitous shopping trolley. So yeah, it does have, it is a bit like Beirut. Not Beirut on a bad day, just Beirut. Dear. Yeah, I do too. Hello, 102 years, how are you? We're having to do things a bit different at the moment because of Toby. Oh look, there you go, another mattress. Some more mattresses, a cabinet. So yeah, I guess it does have that Beirut feel about it. You know, I just feel sorry for the ordinary people what live round here who kind of do the very best. Go on, up here. You know, people who are I heard it spitting at him, I didn't know what it was. They're watching us. Yeah, if you've got to live next to somebody who lives like that, that's bad. You try to live a reasonably good life, and then they're living like that, it's just awful, really. Like the council are doing these. Myself, I'd have never wanted to buy a council house. I just think they're there for people who need them. We lived in one going back to the 1990s in Burnley, and it was awful. We had a little tree grove with about 18 houses. Amongst them were at least 4 serious drug dealers. It's one of the reasons we got out of Burnley was due to drugs. I didn't want my own kids being dragged into it. That's good, that. What do you think of that, Jack? It is very windy, Brian, it really is. No HOA. How's the what's HOA? I don't know what that is, Jack. HOA. Well, we'll walk down here and we'll walk past the playground and the health centre, and then we'll go past a cop shop with nobody in it. A police station which is empty. It's a bit like having a pub with no beer, isn't it? Yeah, you're going to Cheers Bar in Boston, or the Manchester Club in London, and there's no beer. But we've got a police station with no policemen. Ah, right, I'm with you. The council have tenants associations and things like that, but it doesn't make any difference. You tend to have 2 or 3 old ladies, a do-gooder, a couple of councillors, and they'll have a tete-a-tete of a tea and biscuits, and that's about as good as it gets. Nothing ever gets done. So of course you're stuck with it. You've got bad tenants living next to you, then you've got bad tenants living next to you. It's still not as bad as that place I saw called Nunsthorpe. Careful. Good boy, Toby. You alright, mate? It was really good there. The bike just went past. We didn't know it was at the back of us. It just went past. He didn't bark at it. Good boy. At one time he used to go mad whenever he saw a bike. But I've got him out of that. It took quite a lot of doing. Right, so this is the adventure playground. There's kids in there, so be careful. Hang on, mate. Can't just get out of your way. You're okay. Yeah, see, again, you were good. Weren't bothered about them. So it's 5:30. I've nearly done 6 miles. Come on then, we'll go this way if you want. Now this is a play park in Millennium Green, adventure playground, see, for kids. It's pretty good actually. And I don't know what they're doing here. They have like indoor activities inside here. I don't really know what. It's called the Hut. So we do things. We have like February hard activities. So I think it's pretty good, to be honest. And you got the lighthouse up there. Tennis, our tennis courts. Alright, lad. Just appear kids from nowhere, don't they? Yeah, but it's always very quiet there on that estate. But like you said, like we've just discovered, there are some mattresses. There's some broken furniture in gardens. Not a lot, but there's some. It's still nowhere near as bad as Nunsthorpe though. The smashed up cars in gardens. 3-piece suites that been thrown out, beds, mattresses, every other house. It was just awful, and they're all flying the Union Jacks and they're all blaming migrants. You know, not themselves of course, not the local council for not dealing with it, not the local tenants association for not coming down on those who do. But no, it's the fault of migrants. Well, we'll walk down here. What we put this on here now? Ah, no, we'll go past the police station with nobody in it. That's St Nicholas's. That's a leisure centre over there. It's quite good actually. Got some kiddie wings coming. See, we've got a cop car there. We've got some other cars. So I think what they do, police officers, they'll dump their own cars off. They park them there. They park police cars there. And they store the personal equipment, the PPE and stuff like that. You can see it's closed, you can't get in. All the lights are off. So I think that's what they do. They just use it to store their, put the stuff in. They might go in there and have a dinner or something like that, you know, halfway through the shift, I don't know. Come. So here's Aldi, there's the other shop we have. So not too bad really. I should be able to get by for the next week. Oh, we've got a dog in the back of the car. Hello. Well, there we are at the front of Aldi. It is going dark. Another little dog coming up. Hi mate. Well, we still have a post office here in With. We still, oh, you're back, are you, Dave? All right. Well, yeah, I'm nearly home. So we've walked, or I've walked, just now about 6.36 miles. I didn't go out this morning because I knew I was going into Withernsea, and I also had to help Andy go and pick up a car. Oh, she's got it back. so I didn't go out this morning. So we've done 6.5 miles anyway. As for my car, well, we're stuck until next Thursday. Well, Toby's had a nice walk. I just want to say to everybody, thank you very much for your company. Thanks for your likes, your shares, your comments and your subscriptions. It's been a crap day for me today. Not because of you people, you made it better. But it's been absolutely losing my car. You know, not being able to use it. That's upset me a bit. Wow, all the way to Tampa. Is that a long way? I'm lucky I've only got a mile to Tesco and about 400 yards to Aldi. So I'm lucky there. Anyhow, we'll see what tomorrow brings. So that I'm just going to say to everybody from Toby and from me, again, thanks a lot. Catch you all later.